Like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who could bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GGD Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have yourself to blame, y'all. Cricket TV and a weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop. Until you get your mouth off LGBT. We are the underground outfit, y'all. We built this whole thing by ourselves, no in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yup, we got that merch for the ladies and yes, we even got that merch for the babies and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
All right, you guys. So like, share, subscribe. As y'all tap on in. Salute to everybody that's gonna come in and watch this video this morning, man. If you guys have not subscribed, subscribe. Press 1 if y'all can hear me in the comments, man. Let me get a mic check real quick. Press 1 if you guys can hear me in the comment section. Let me get a mic check real quick. And I salute to all y'all. We're gonna get started with this video, man. Salute to everybody that's donated to support the stream, man. I appreciate all of y'all. All those links are in the description box and pinned at the top of the chat. Manetta Callahan, salute to you with a donation in the Cash App. Valia Lee, salute to you with a $50 donation in the Cash App. Medina Shabazz, salute to you. Auntie Lee, salute to you. Andre, salute to you. Tijuana, salute to you. Tanya Hardy, salute to you. Kimberly Cunningham, salute to you. Third Eye, salute to you. Belinda, salute to you. Linda Robinson, salute to you. Felicia Adair, salute to you. All of you. Cynthia Collins, Kimberly Cunningham, salute to all of y'all for donations in the Cash App, man. If you guys want to support the channel, y'all can. The link's pinned at the top and in the description box below. So, Dr. Umar Johnson, been circulating in the news the last couple of weeks based off of, first, this whole situation with the school. Umar basically saying that his personal account and the school account both got frozen. The bank has not given him any information, and that he still has not gotten any reply from the bank. He was criticized, raked through the coals online. A lot of people had disparaging things to say about Umar based off that. Umar then dropped a video and said F the haters and flicked off all his haters and said that people were struggle streamers and this, that, and the third, even though he was asking these people to borrow money because he said his account was frozen up. Now, a question I did have to ask to a lot of people who were saying that Dr. Umar is a scam artist, who were saying that Dr. Umar is doing all these things wrong. The one question I did have to ask is why isn't Dr. Umar behind bars? If he's all these things people saying, and you know that the authorities been looking at this guy, why isn't he behind bars? Kind of make you think. Now, Charlemagne's been getting heat because he says that he believes Umar Johnson. On his show, he says that, he thinks that Umar Johnson, he basically doesn't believe that Umar Johnson is doing anything that's shady purposely. And so the question is if you know that Umar, because people have been saying Umar's being investigated for years. If he hasn't been arrested, listen, they would have picked him up if, in my opinion, if he was doing this type of activity. He's still out here moving like that. There was a video that he did. He did a what do you call it? A press conference, or not a press conference. He did a speaking engagement the other day, and in that speaking engagement, he basically revealed that he has another budget of $500,000 for another small school. After this school, he's claiming that all he had to do is put the towels down in the current school, and then get the and then the school is open. And then he says he has $500,000. People's like, how you got $500,000 for another school budget? You ain't even pay their bills in this school. Make it make sense. And he's talking about New Jersey. He want to get the other school, a small school, not a big school. This is all the stuff he's pushing. But the one question I have to say is everybody's saying that, oh, Umar is lying. Umar's capping. Umar's doing all this, right? But the question I have is, and this is a real question, right? And to the person who says tickets giving excuses to Umar. I'm not giving excuses to Umar. If you heard me, I actually cooked Umar. I don't like how Umar has disrespected people who have supported and donated to him. Asshole light. So when you come in here saying Chris Mike Ticket makes excuses for Umar, I haven't made any excuses for Umar, you dumb fool. What I've said is, you idiot. All these people for years have said that Umar Johnson is shady. Umar Johnson is a scam artist. Umar Johnson is a con artist. People have said this for the last 8 years, but I haven't seen the feds going beating down this dude's door. That's facts, idiot. Everybody keeps saying that Umar's getting ready to get arrested. They've been saying this shit for the last 8 years. Why haven't the feds ran down on this guy? That's the question, you idiot. Answer the question. I haven't blocked you or anything. Answer the question. That's what I thought. You don't have an answer. So shut the hell up. Of all the people that have called the authorities on Umar Johnson based off his situation, I don't want to hear about the feds pick and choose, you idiot. The feds got Diddy locked up, nigga. No excuses. Sit your bum ass down. You're blocked. I asked you a question, and I think Umar's a disgrace for how he talk about people, the donations he took. He criticized people who gave him small donations, not even thinking about their a financial personal situation. I'm asking you, chump, if Umar Johnson is this scam artist and all these things these people been saying for the last 8, 9 years, because Umar been talking about the school for 12 years. People been doing videos on YouTube. They've been calling authorities on this guy, all this kind of stuff. Why haven't he had charges brought up against him? Are you talking about the feds pick and choose? Are you idiot? If they had a chance to get a black man, he out of here, dummy. The hell is wrong with these people on YouTube? Make it make sense. Don't you think if the feds had something that already ran down on this dude and got him up out of here? A man that's prominent in the black community talking about black issues, they'd have been got his ass up out of here if they had something more, in my opinion. But somehow me saying that, oh, you giving Umar excuses. Man, shut up, nigga. I'm saying that you can say what you want to say. If you physically cannot prove it, that's different than me just saying my opinion. See, a lot of people have an opinion that Umar Johnson ain't on the up and up. But some people out here saying it as facts, that he's a scam artist and all these other things. And like I said, the feds or the police, this dude ain't been arrested. He haven't been charged with none of that. And you best believe these people have been contacting different authorities on this man for years. And people have said this for years. Oh, his chickens come home to roost. They're going to get him. Why haven't they got him? It's been, bro, people have been saying this for the last 8 years. Umar been talking about this school and saying that he's going to do this for over 12 years, over 10, 12 years. For the last 8, you've had people consistently creating YouTube channels and doing content to go after Umar Johnson. That's all I'm asking y'all. So all I'm asking y'all is, why isn't Umar Johnson in handcuffs? That's all I'm saying. I'm not excusing how I feel about Umar Johnson. I don't respect how he moved. You ain't supposed to be in no position like that, and constantly talking down on black women like you do. Gonna call a girl fishy and all this other stuff, and call her throat goat and all this other stuff, but you was up there with, and let's get to that. So now this same woman that he was disrespecting, calling throat goat, fishy, and all this other stuff, now she's come out with different claims against Umar Johnson. She's saying that Umar Johnson is a predator. She's labeling Dr. Umar Johnson as a predator. I'll play it. Interview with Tasha K.
Calling in for them things about their kids. He's sucking his teeth, rolling his eyes. I don't want to hear this shit. He don't give a damn about them kids. He doesn't want to talk about the kids. He wants a picture of you. He wants to see that ass, see if it's fat, and then he'll get engaged. Y'all are dealing with a predator, and y'all push this nigga to the front of the line.
She straight up said y'all dealing with a predator. Let's play this again.
See if it's fat, and then he'll get engaged. He doesn't want to talk about the kids. He wants a picture of you. He wants to see that ass, see if it's fat, and then he'll get engaged. Y'all dealing with a predator, and y'all push this nigga to the front of the line.
He's preying on these mothers that don't have fathers to these kids who have disabilities.
He thought he didn't even take no time with me. He thought my son's dad wasn't involved. My son's dad is very involved. And he's sitting up there telling her ex to get in. You don't want to see my ex after what you did to my son. Bro. No, you don't.
Basically, he's pulling at Derrick Jackson, how Derrick Jackson would sell relationships or how women should be treated and stuff. He had a whole wife at the house, and when the women would DM him asking for advice, he would give them advice and then lure them in and fuck them.
Yeah. But see, the signs be there. It be the women that block the shit. It's not the men. The men be standing on 10 like, don't mess with that dude. I don't know how the women are the damn problem. They push this dude to the front. It's college girls now trying to get on that page just for clout. They send pictures to his phone. You know, it's like, it's a very throw myself at a man type of situation.
So, to this dude on the screen who said the feds won't do anything if a black man is a detriment to his community, bullshit, Antonio Barnes. You have no idea what you're talking about, and you full of shit. Point blank, period. You have no idea what you're talking about, bro. If a feds have a chance to go get a brother that's at a prominent position within the black community and lock his ass up, they're going to go get his ass. You want me to give you an example? I can give you 1,000. I can give you 1,000. Look at all the brothers right now that the feds have got jammed up right now that are black, sir. Look at all of them right now. So what are you talking about, dog? You don't make no sense with that lame-ass comment. Sean Diddy Combs is a detriment to his community, fool. R. Kelly, a detriment to his community. There's many more that's locked up right now that they're calling detriment to their communities. Don't nobody want to hear about you talking about a real prominent position, man. They're not finna play with you on that, bro. If they had something on Umar Johnson, the way all these people saying they had, his ass would have been in locked up. He'd have been in jail, awaiting trial, nigga, for years. What the hell is wrong with these people? And I'm not saying that, hey, I'm thinking, I don't think Umar's innocent or whatever. I'm saying people are saying this as if it's factual information, not their opinion. Your opinion could be one thing. Fact could be another thing. All I'm saying is that with all that money that you're dealing with, listen to what I'm saying to you. If you are scamming at that level with that amount of money that we're talking about with Umar Johnson, he'd be in jail right now. Right now. Because they've been talking about this for the last 8 years. Think about what I just said. I'm giving you factual information. People have come online saying that this dude ain't been paying taxes, all these different things. If that was true, and this was publicized, and it was that amount of money, and all of these different things, and the feds have been alert. This has been people have been saying about him for 8 years now. He would have been locked up. They'd have thrown him in there with the rest of the brothers. Period. They're not finna, oh yeah, man, it's Umar, man. We ain't finna touch him. Are you crazy? He'd be out of there with the rest of them right now. Tara Moses says, where's the school? The school's in Delaware. I mean, the school is there. He just ain't open the school. He continues to make lame excuses about why he didn't open the school. Oh, well, I got to do the floors. I got to do this. I got to do that. When y'all say, hey, man, ain't no school. No, the school is there. The question is, why haven't he opened the doors to the school? He making 1,000 excuses about that. You demonize and criticize the people who donate to you if they don't donate enough money from what your thoughts are. Somebody says, oh, either he compromised by the feds or they waiting for what? For the last 8 years, the feds waiting? Nah, I disagree with that. And people saying he done, he's still running around here moving and grooving like it ain't nothing. Right? Now this dude says most of those donations came through mail and money orders. People giving him money in hand at various speaking events over the years. Most of that money is untraceable. Cap. The money is traceable because he have to cash the checks, you idiot. What are you talking about? And people are that are giving him donations, they're using it. A lot of people use those as tax write-offs. Learn business, you damn fool. You have no mind, no brains, and no thoughts about it. Most people that are donating to Umar Johnson's cause are reporting that in their taxes as a tax write-off. So the money is traceable. Fool, use your mind. The question I have is why haven't the feds came and jammed that man up if he's everything all these people saying he is? Do I believe that Umar Johnson is a great businessman on the up and up? Hell no. I believe he's condescending. I believe he's disrespectful. And I believe he's financially irresponsible. But can I just come out here and say, hey, man, he scammed these people? Bro, I can't see what he's doing with the money. I cannot physically prove that yet. And all the people who've been complaining about this dude for the last 8 years, who have been calling the feds, calling the authorities on this guy, and you know that they've looked at him and been investigating him. My question is, why they ain't went and jammed him up? What, are they just going to let him take all these people's money continuously? People have been saying there's something cooking for the last 8 to 10 years. Once again, I'm going to say this once again to everybody. You have to use your brains, man. You have to use your brains, man. Right? Think about what I just said to everybody. That's why I always sat back and I say, you know what? The whole crowd is saying, hey, man, this guy's a scam artist, this guy's this. No, I think he's financially irresponsible. I think he's condescending. I think he's disrespectful. But until I see evidence to say that he's that, and I'm talking about the other thing, I'm talking about I ain't seen no court paperwork, no none of that. Because think about this, y'all. And I want to say this to everybody listening to this video. Umar Johnson, bro, listen. He ain't saying he ain't got no money. Let me repeat myself again. He's not saying he ain't got no money. He said that the accounts were frozen. He never spoke about what his bank was. Everybody talking about banks. He haven't disclosed any of that information. Right? I want y'all to think about this. I want y'all to think about what I just said to y'all. If the feds were on to Umar Johnson, the feds normally, he would have probably got, by now, he'd have had some type of notice that he's been investigated. By now. And I'm pretty sure him and that school have been investigated for a while now. Right? Now, do people think somehow he's going to end up getting that money, pay for that school, and do that? Think about that. And people were saying, look, everybody's in here saying, I understand what y'all are saying. I'm not taking up for Umar Johnson. I think Umar Johnson is disrespectful and a dishonorable dude, the way he moved. I'm not taking up for him. I'm saying that people have to have more accountability when they say certain stuff, because once again, people have been saying that Umar's going down for the last 8 years. Umar Johnson's still out here asking for donations 8 years later. He's been talking about this school for over 12 years. Everybody said, oh, he owed $31,000. Bro, 3 years ago, people were saying he owed $100,000. What happened to that? Did he pay that off? Where did he get the $100,000 at? I can go back to videos where people were doing 3 and 4 years ago where they said, hey, man, Umar, a lot of money. He going to lose that school. He never lost a school. He owe $100 and some thousand. I can go look it up right now. The video's on YouTube from 4 years ago. Think about what I'm saying to y'all. Think about what I'm saying to y'all. And everybody says, oh, well, how can you use PayPal? Bro, PayPal has their own card. If you guys understand PayPal, PayPal have their own card. If you have a PayPal, you know. These apps, they give you their own card now. PayPal, Venmo, all these people have their own card. So yes, you can link it to a bank account, but they have their own card, meaning you can go and use that card for transactions or deduct money with that card from the bank. How do I know? I have a PayPal card and I have a Venmo card. A lot of people didn't know that. And that's not me taking up for Umar Johnson. That's the truth. I have a PayPal card and I have a Venmo card. They even have Cash App cards. And they even have a Cash App account. What are you talking about? See, a lot of y'all saying shit, y'all don't even know what y'all talking about. That's why I'm saying to y'all, people need to watch their words and wait and see how this thing play out. Once again, I have a Cash App card. Cash App have their own accounts. You don't even have to have a bank no more. Let me repeat myself again. You don't even have to transfer your money from a bank. Cash App have their own feature where they have their own savings account. So, for example, if you send somebody a Cash App, they can take the money that you send them in Cash App and put it right in their Cash App savings and have a card that they use, boom, right for the Cash App. PayPal has their own card. Venmo has their own card. Meaning, any money that's sent to that PayPal, Umar don't need no bank. All Umar got to do is use his PayPal card and boop, go right to the ATM machine or right to the machine and pay for what he's going. He can go to the ATM machine, take money out, or he can go right to the card machine to pay the bill. A lot of people didn't know that. Everybody was just running around, oh, well, you got to have a bank account because he got to transfer that money. No, he don't. Not the way they got it set up now. They've been had it set up. I've had my PayPal card for at least 3 years. Right? So, do I think Umar is very suspect? Yes, I do. I think he's very suspect. I think he's condescending. I think he's disrespectful. I think he's suspect. But that other thing I can't say because I have not seen no legal paperwork. I'm talking about from the police or the feds to say otherwise. And you better believe they've been looking at him. And if you don't think they've been looking at him for years, something wrong with you. Straight up. Say it again. And for the people who say, oh, well, most of the people that's donating to Umar, they are using that in their tax write-offs as a donation. So that money is getting reported. Now, the feds could come down on a big-ass indictment on Umar and he'd be up out of here. But Umar's still doing the same thing he was doing then. Now, he haven't changed that. Realistically, everybody's sitting up here, we all been talking about Umar. Nobody know how much money Umar's sitting on right now. Nobody knows. Except for Umar in the bank. Think about that part. Nobody knows how much money Umar really has. Everybody saying, what happened to all the money? We don't know how much money he got. Because he is not transparent. So he could really have $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 in the bank. We don't even know. People say, "Oh, where's the school?" It's in Delaware. I mean, he shows videos and photos of the school. That's not the question. The question is why isn't the school open? Think about that. So you literally can see the school. You can see improvements he made in the school, but he continues to stay. Oh, well, I got to do this. I still got to do that. It's always something else with this cat. So if he said he was going to get a school, and he literally got a school, and he's working on a school, the question everybody should be asking is, hey, man, bro, you need to open that goddamn school. People are still asking where the school's at. I don't see no school. School's in Delaware. The question is why haven't this dude opened a school? The question is why does he preach so much pro-black shit, but steadily condescend towards black women? You'll call a woman a fish tank, call her Miss Fishy and all this other stuff, call her a throat goat, but she said that you was eating that box. Says you was eating a box, man. And she said you was going in a raw dog at the end, towards the end of y'all's time sexually. And now, in that interview, Tasha K, she's saying you a predator, bro. People got to think about what I'm saying to y'all, man. I don't think people are understanding what it is that I'm saying to everybody. And it's real. Everything I'm saying to y'all is 1,000% real, because you got to look at this through factual information. People have been calling, and I'm going to say this again. People have been calling the feds on Umar Johnson for 8 years, at least over 8 years. They've been doing videos talking about it for all this time. If they had anything on Umar, I've seen, press 1 in the comment section if you've seen people doing videos for at least the last 8 years saying that Umar Johnson is scamming, he's going to be arrested. People been saying this stuff for 8 years. People were saying 8 years ago, Umar, he owed $100,000 on the school. Where happened to all that debt? Did he pay it off? He must have paid it off. Where did he get the money from? Had it been from donations? I know y'all seen it. I literally can go back 8 years and show y'all videos where people was doing this. That's the honest to God truth about the situation. So I'm telling y'all this. You know what I mean? And I think people got to understand that aspect. Everybody keeps saying something, but then and people say, nah, he's scamming. Well, if he's scamming, why haven't the feds jammed him up? See, that's the thing people got to understand. People been saying this dude been scamming for 8 years. 8 years ago, they were saying, 4 years ago, they were saying, oh, he owe $100,000, man. He ain't got that money. Umar blew all the money. He ain't got the money. Umar still got to school today. Now they saying, oh, well, he owe 30-something thousand. Bro, where he get the money at? Where he get 100,000 if he didn't have that money saved up to pay off that debt? I'm just asking y'all. I'm asking y'all this. And this is not me taking up for Umar. I'm just saying, where are the authorities at if that's the case? They'd have been ran this dude down. You talking about that amount of money, he'd have been up out of here. With all the people, national attention that Umar Johnson be getting about this situation? I'm telling y'all that. And this man says Umar's about to lose that school. They said that 7 years ago, brother. $100,000, they said it 7 years ago. Umar still got the school. He ain't never lose the school. Is that true or false? Rest sweet. Is what I'm saying, everybody that's in the comment section, is what I'm saying true or false? Didn't they say around 4 to 5 years ago that Umar Johnson owed over $100,000 to the school, on the school, and that he was going to lose the school? Oh, Umar, He ain't got no money. He blew all the money. $100,000 something dollars. Somehow the man still got to school today. So who paid that bill? Where'd that money come from? That's why I said until y'all see bank statements, we can't really talk about how much money he got. The only thing we can say is that he's financially irresponsible. Why? Because he ain't paying the bill on time. So the person who say he didn't hear that, go listen to one of his biggest detractors on YouTube. They've had a channel on YouTube for like last 6-7 years, and their whole channel is dedicated to getting on Umar. All you gotta do is go back and look 6-7 years ago. Those videos are up where they pulled up the statements and saying Umar owed $100,000 some dollars, and that if he's gonna lose the school, he never lost it. Where did he get that 100 racks from to pay for that school? The same way they're doing right now. They put up the paperwork then. I'm not lying. I followed this whole situation. So how did Umar Johnson pay all the money he owed years ago if he ain't got no bread? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Everybody keeps saying, they're going to take the school over. They've been saying that for 8 years. For 8 years on YouTube, they've been saying they're going to take that school. I've watched it. You literally cannot say that I'm telling a lie. Because I ain't lying. I told you, I think Umar Johnson is financially irresponsible. I think that he's ignorant. I think he's disrespectful, dishonorable, and I think that he is not a good leader. He disrespects the same people that come out their pockets and donate to this dude. That's a disgrace. I'm telling y'all this. That's a disgrace. Let me Google something real quick. Has Umar Johnson paid prior debts on his school? Let me pull this up right now. I'm pulling it up right now. Right? All right. So let's see. Critics have raised concern about its transparency, which I do, pointing to a lack of clear documentation, which I do, such as paid invoices or settled judgments to verify that debts have been cleared. Supporters argue that the project faces external challenges, such as red tape or targeted interference, which may contribute to delays in resolving financial issues. Without verifiable receipts or official statements from Dr. Johnson or municipal authorities, it's unclear if the debts have been paid or not. And I'm talking about all his old debts. For the most accurate and up-to-date information, you could check Wilmington, Delaware public records for liens or judgments on the properties. Or, right? Now think about what I just said. Now his current situation, which is a report from August of 2025, this year, indicates that they face a potential sheriff sale due to a $38,000 debt, including unpaid taxes and utilities, with a deadline payment by August the 25th of this year. Around $40,000 tied to property associated with the school, right, have surfaced along with claims of frozen bank accounts and restricted donation channels. These reports suggest that significant financial obligations remain outstanding, though Dr. Umar Johnson has stated that attorneys are involved and a recovery effort is underway. Right? So, do people have a reason? And people are not going to listen to what I say. They're going to make excuses. They're not going to listen to what I say. Do people have a reason to be cautious with Umar Johnson? You damn right. And so the person who said Umar's not paying his bills, how is he not paying his bills, but he still got to school all these years? Somebody had to pay those bills, sir. The man has had that school. What year did Umar Johnson buy the actual school, y'all? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about factual information. Let's talk about factual information. Let me Google this. We're going to talk about factual information on this channel, right? Factual information, sir. So he announced in 2019 that he raised sufficient funds to purchase the property in Wilmington, Delaware for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. While he initially aimed to buy the former St. Paul's College campus in Lawrenceville, Virginia in 2014, that plan did not materialize. And in Delaware, the Delaware property became the focus. Sources confirmed that the Wilmington property was acquired around 2019, though the exact dates vary due to a lack of precise documentation. So they're saying in 2019. Now, once again, here's my question to people. Umar Johnson has had the school from 2019 to 2025, right now. Where did he get the money all the other years to pay his bills? Because people have been saying that Umar Johnson tricked all the money off. He ain't got no money. All the other years, where did he get the money to pay the bills on the school? Now let's go to that part. Let's go to that part. Let's go to that part. See, there's nothing legally nobody can say unless you have access to Umar Johnson's personal and business accounts. People can only speculate. And that's what people are doing. And listen, people are saying, hey, man, he's a scammer. Bro, listen, let me say this to you again. I think he's financially irresponsible. I cannot say he's a scammer legally right now because I have not seen his personal bank accounts. If you have not seen his personal and or his business bank accounts, there's nothing you can really say. Here's the facts, and this is the factual information I'm giving y'all. Umar Johnson stayed doing speaking engagements. He stayed doing interviews. So he has income that continuously comes in from that alone. So let's say Umar Johnson's out here getting $5,000, $6,000 per interview, per speaking engagement. He's always doing speaking engagements and doing interviews. That's personal income. You see Umar Johnson on the Art of Dialogue every month doing interviews. Umar Johnson is going around here doing interviews and speaking engagements all the time. He getting paid for that. Personal. People forget that. See, this is what happens when you have to spill facts on the table and not just come in here and tell lies or cap and just say other shit. Now, do I think he's financially irresponsible? Yes, because he should have already paid that bill off at the school. No doubt. Even before the situation happened. Even before it happened. But Umar, every time you see him, he's doing interviews, he's doing podcasts, he's getting revenue for that. If Umar do 10 interviews, he probably done racked up $30,000, $40,000 from those interviews and speaking engagements. Total. So let me say it again. If Umar Johnson does about 3 podcasts and 2 speaking engagements, he done racked up 40 racks just from doing that. Nobody's going to tell that truth. Personal money, not donations. Nobody's going to tell that truth. Right? Umar Johnson The way he filed his taxes. If there was something in his taxes, they would have came and got his ass already. Everybody on YouTube can point out Umar Johnson's taxes. Cool, no problem. I have no issue with that. Why haven't the feds came and picked this dude up? He is a public figure, and this is out here in the open. Why haven't they came pick him? And if they come pick him up tomorrow, we have a different conversation. We have a different conversation. Right? We got to have some real talk right here, right? We got to have some real talk right here, right? Right? Remember when people were saying that Umar Johnson ain't no doctor? He ain't no doctor, man. He lying. He capping. He ain't no Dr. Umar, man. He's just Umar Johnson. He ain't no doctor. Dr. Umar Johnson holds a Doctor of Psychology degree from Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine, earned in 2012. He is a licensed school psychologist and refers to himself as a doctor in clinical psychology, a doctor of clinical psychology. Though some critics question the extent of his professional practice in that field, public records and his own statements confirm his doctoral degree. Public records. Bro, I can't just come on YouTube and lie on the man because people want to lie. Do I think he's financially irresponsible? Yes. Do I think he's condescending and disrespectful to the same people that support him? Yes. You gonna get mad and argue with people talking about they donations ain't enough. Sit your ass down, nigga. Do I think he's a horrible leader? Yes. You talk all this shit about praising black folks, but you talk down about the black woman, calling her fishy and all this other shit. And then you got your own situation going on with your own flesh and blood out here in the general public. You always run around here talking about marry a black woman, black queens, but you ain't married, nigga. You 50 years old. I'm just gonna tell it how it is. But to call him a scam artist without seeing the bank accounts, that's irresponsible. To call that nigga a scammer without seeing his bank accounts. Because how he paid a bill all those other years. Don't y'all know all the other years from 2019 up to now, he had to pay the bill. If he blew all the money already, how is he paying the bill? They would have been took to school. They'd have been took it. What's today? Today is the what, 12th? Umar Johnson got 13 days to get that bread. If he ain't got it. Now, how many of y'all in this comment section today think that Umar's going to lose that school? Remember, they've been saying this for 4 or 5 years now. He's going to lose the school. And with all the people that's been out here reporting Umar, man, the feds would have already blown this dude's chimney down, especially if they had him on something with taxes. And I've seen all the videos people have made about his taxes and stuff like that. Bro, listen, the feds is paying attention to this dude, bro. Somebody says he'll lose the school. They said that 4 years ago. He ain't never lose the school. I got videos from 4 years ago where people who have created their channels to exposing Umar Johnson, he still got the scoop. Make it make sense. And the truth is, you can see that he have done some improvements inside the school. That's the truth. He had the logo on the doors, all that stuff. If you go inside, he's done some improvements inside. But I think he's been financially irresponsible. And I think he got way in over his head. He don't listen to nobody except for himself. That's what I believe. And I believe he's a jackass. I mean, I just be honest with you. But that doesn't mean that he don't got that bread in that account. And who knows what account Umar Johnson got? There's so many banks, we don't know. The only person who knows is him. That's another thing. That's another criticism that's fair of Umar Johnson. You taking people's donations, but you ain't even being transparent when they're donating for a school. You ain't even showed them, you know, you just come and say, hey, man, I did this, I did that. Oh, we need this, we need that. So I'm just telling y'all. So the person say he don't have no school, man. If you seen it, it has the new logos on the door, all that stuff on the inside. He has put money in that school. It is a school. He has put money into it. The question is why hasn't he opened a school? Years ago, he was talking about the HVAC, and I'm not making excuses. I'm telling the truth. See, people don't understand making excuses and telling the truth. I hold Umar Johnson accountable, but I'm also telling the truth. See, a lot of you people, you guys can say the shit y'all can say, and you'll get into libel and slander because you don't care. You ain't got shit to lose. You cannot come out and call a man a scam artist if you ain't got proof that he scammed people. People saying, "Oh, he broke. He blew all." This is what people saying. He broke. He blew all the money on what they say he blew it on DoorDash. All of these different things they've said for years. How's Umar Johnson still out here moving, shaking, and baking, doing speaking engagements, doing podcasts? He's still getting bread. Umar Johnson can go get $50,000 in 3 weeks of doing podcasts. Don't y'all know this? He gonna still do numbers. Period. He gonna still do numbers. So Umar Johnson can go to all these different podcasts, get $5, $6, $7,000 per interview, or however much he get, do speaking engagements, get about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000, and rack up 56,000 in about 2, 3 weeks. That's hit. He can, and that money he can put in his own personal account. This is the part people don't understand, right? And to say that some folks do want to chop it up with him, bro, a lot of people do. They talk about Umar Johnson a lot on social media. He's a hot interview. That's true. That's why y'all always see him on these podcast shows. You think he on these shows for free? Hell no, he getting paid. Right? And to the person who says, well, playing scam, well, check this out. The feds are smarter. If Umar Johnson was doing something, they would have already had his ass out of here. People say he been exposed. Exposed for what? Show me his bank account. When you show me Umar Johnson's bank account and show me he blew all that money, then we talking. Because see, I'm going to tell you something. Umar Johnson can do something. I thought about this. And this is why I always say, you know what? I ain't going to say nothing about that part. Umar Johnson can come out here, show you an account, and got $600,000 in that account. Everybody shut their goddamn mouth. You just never know. Until you see the account, you never know. You never know. The man just went on the press conference the other day. He did a speaking engagement and said he got a $500,000 budget for another school. Where he get that money from? Y'all got to ask yourself this question. The question people really should be asking is, how much money do Umar Johnson have in those accounts? People can say that's cap. Prove it otherwise. Show me Umar Johnson's account. God is Noel. Show me Umar Johnson's bank account. Since I'm just out here saying anything, show me his bank account. So the person said, I don't know Umar's history. I have. I've been following Umar the whole time. What the hell is you talking about, sir? I've been watching Umar the whole time. You know the one thing I've never seen? Transparency. So if I haven't seen it, how the hell you seen it? I've just told you the things I criticize Umar Johnson on. He's financially irresponsible. He's a jerk. He's a jackass. He treats people who donate to him. If you don't donate enough money for his, like, he treats you like shit and talk about you like a dog. He's disrespectful and condescending to his own people, the same people he claimed he loved and praised. You gonna call the girl fishy, all this other stuff. Then you got problems with your own daughter. It's cap. Somebody said, "Where's everything that comes with a school?" I've seen stuff in the school. He showed video inside the school, so he's got the school. It's lights inside the school at this point. At one point, it wasn't. So he's obviously got a light bill they're paying. There, he's got tables and chairs and desks and all that stuff inside the school. I saw the video. Saw the video, dog. Matter of fact, let me put a picture on the screen because I know people are gonna, like I said before. I mean, I know it's easy for everybody to say, "Hey, man, Umar Johnson this, Umar Johnson that." Bro, listen. Until you see his accounts, that's the thing. I think that, you know, everybody need to be careful about is wait till we see his accounts. That is the part I think that is the most important is that account, right? That's the part I'm asking about. Man, show the account. Because, see, that's the part people, in my opinion, need to be asking about. The two questions people need to be asking is, let me see the business account so you can see the transactions in the business account. And why isn't the school open? Think about what I just said. Somebody says they feel like the feds get ready to do something. Man, if the feds going to do something, they've been doing something with this guy. Now, if they come do something tomorrow, we'll stir fry his ass. But until then, it's kind of hard for you to go and bang out on the dude when you don't have evidence of his accounts. Literally, Umar Johnson can set everybody up. Let me tell y'all something. Umar Johnson can set all these people up by how he's moving to slander him, right? Come out, show he got money in the business account, and then sue all these people who call him a scam artist. When they could have said, look, he's irresponsible, he's not transparent, he's not all of this stuff, right? And to the person who said there is no account, you don't have proof if there is or isn't. To the person who said he spent the money, you don't have proof if he did or didn't. Nobody does. You know why? We haven't seen it. He had to have some type of account. He's cashing checks, all these other things, making deposits according to what he's saying. He's saying he had a business account. I mean, bro, listen, the feds would have already been on his helmet. To the person who said, how much evidence do you need? Bro, listen, once again, why haven't the feds came in here and swooped this nigga up? People have been saying this about this man for the last 5-6 years. Don't you think the feds would have been all over that? I'm just asking a question, sir. This is easy work for the feds. If this was the case, the feds would have been all over this. Think about what I just said. If that was the case, the feds would have been all over this. They'd have been all over this. Right? And that's what I'm saying to everybody. They'd have been all over this. So why haven't the feds went and jammed this guy up? That's the question y'all need to be asking. Everybody should be asking. Man, I wonder why the feds ain't went and jammed him up. All these years, people been complaining. Everybody saying the Board of Education. Man, people been complaining about this stuff for 4 or 5 years. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. Think about what I'm saying. Again, I have many criticisms of Umar Johnson. To the person who says, I'm sure the feds are building a case. What do you mean you're sure they're building a case? If they were building a case, they would have already had 1 year ago. And then let me ask y'all this. Don't y'all think if Umar Johnson, if he knew the feds was on him, he'd get low? This man's still out here loud with it. If Umar Johnson's accounts were frozen and he thought by any shape or form the feds or the cops or somebody was on him, don't y'all think he would slow down from how he was moving? No, he's still doing the same thing. Either he got to be a sick, twisted, just crazy ass dude that don't give a damn, or he's the guy who I believe is on a power trip, thinks he knows it all, wants to do it all his way, and wants your money to do it, but don't want you to have no input on how he do it. Straight up. Straight up. Let me look up something. Let me Google something. Is it hard to open? Is it difficult to open a school without government assistance? Let's look that up. Yes, it is generally difficult to open a school without government assistance, primarily due to the significant financial and regulatory hurdles involved. While not impossible, starting a school without government support requires substantial resources. Starting a school without government support requires substantial resources, careful planning, which Umar don't do in my opinion, navigating complex legal and operational requirements, which I don't think Umar does, challenges without government assistance, funding, securing sufficient funding for initial setup costs, facilities, equipment, and ongoing operational expenses, salaries, utilities, maintenance is major challenges without government grants or subsidies. Regulation. Opening a school involves navigating various regulations, including licensing, accreditation, and compliance with building codes and safety standards. These processes can be complex and time-consuming even with government support. Recruitment. Attracting qualified teachers and staff can be difficult without competitive salaries or benefits, which may be more easily offered with government funding. Competition. In many areas, there is already established competition from existing public and private schools, making it harder to attract students and build a reputation. Community support. Building community trust and attracting students and family requires demonstrating the school's value and commitment to the community, which can be challenging without initial resources. Potential strategies to overcome challenges, seeking funding from other sources, exploring options like private investors, funding, fundraising, donations, or establishing an endowment can help address the financial gap. Partnering with existing organizations. Collaborations with community organizations, religious institutions, or other schools can provide access to resources expertise, and potential student recruitment networks, according to some online educational forums. All these questions need to be asked to Umar Johnson. These are the real questions that need to be asked to this guy. Starting small and gradually expanding. Beginning with a smaller, more focused program or grade level, and then gradually expanding can help manage costs and build a track record before seeking larger investments, according to some online educational forums. How did Umar Johnson start? See, these are all the real questions Umar Johnson need to be asked. Leveraging technology, utilizing online learning platforms and digital resources can help reduce the need for extensive physical infrastructure and resources, according to some online educational forum. Right? In conclusion, opening a school without government assistance is possible. It requires careful planning. Do I think Umar's a careful planning? Hell no. Significant resources and willingness to overcome considerable hurdles. Do I think Umar has the willingness to overcome those hurdles? Yeah, but what do I think Umar's problem is? He Mr. Know-it-all, and he want to do it all by himself, and that way you end up being a damn dumb boo-boo the fool and getting yourself in major trouble. That's what I take from this whole situation with Umar. This dude wanted to be some mad genius that did it all by himself. He wanted to be able to tell everybody, yeah, I did this without nobody else, no government, no white folks, no none of that shit. He wanted to be the judge, the jury, and the execution of this thing. How much you want to bet? Do you think Umar Johnson had financial planners in here for the school? Do you guys think he set up all the infrastructure he needed to help him create the school? No, I think Umar Johnson in his brain came up with an idea and he wanted to do it all by himself. And he's so prideful of an individual, he won't admit that he need help. That's what I believe. I believe this dude is such a pompous. I believe that he's such a goddamn narcissist that even though he know that he can't, he still want to try to prove it that he can do it on his own. That's what I think. I think this guy is a world-class jerk. Anybody that talks to the people who donate him, I seen somebody donate $5 to him. He criticized him years ago. I said, man, this dude's a piece of shit. How you gonna criticize? You don't even know these people's financial situations, and you gonna criticize them? And they gave you better be lucky somebody gave you a damn dollar. A damn dollar. And truth secret, $2 million is not enough to run a school. You keep thinking that that's not enough. Sorry, sir. Without government assistance, $2 million is not enough to run a school, bro. This is the part y'all gotta understand, man. Don't you know you gotta have money in the bank, shorty? You think $2 million is enough to run a school? It's not, bro. I can break it down to you right now. Just in my brain, that's not enough. Because if you spend $400,000 on a school, then you're gonna need another $200,000 to $300,000 just for utilities, maintenance, repair over the years. Constantly, you're gonna need that in the account. Then you're gonna need money for the repairs he had to do inside. That's probably like another $250,000, $300,000 in repairs. Then you're gonna need money for salary. You ain't get nobody getting there and work for free. And you're gonna have competitive wages. People, you have to pay your people right. Man, by the time you get right there, shit, that little $2 million, that ain't nothing. To be honest with you, for a school Umar size, he probably need like a $10 to $15 million backing. But this jerk thought he knew so much. He thought he could do it with less, and he can't. And he out here, in my opinion, getting cooked in front of the world. And I'm gonna say it again. That school Umar Johnson got, to me, you need at least $10,000 to $15,000 in your pocket in order to pull that off. Ain't no $2 million for to pull that shit off, man. When you get into a business like that, bro, you need almost 5 to 10 times what it's worth to be able. That's why people, y'all don't even plan correct, man. And that's the part people ain't even talking about. It's easy to stir fry niggas on social media. Period. You need money in case shit go wrong. You need money to be able to pay teachers salaries for years to come. Period. Shout out to Mr. Mass. You know what's up, dog. You ain't pulling no school off like that for no $2 million. People really think you really think you gonna pull a school off like that for $2 million? Ain't happening, dog. You know how much money it takes to run an elementary school? Let me say it again. You know how much money it takes just to run an elementary school? I want y'all to Google something. Google this, y'all. I want y'all to Google this, right? Let me Google this. How much money does it take to start a small school? Right? Think about this. Starting a small school requires a significant amount of capital, ranging up to $1.8 million for initial setup costs. Annual recurring costs can further add to financial burden, potentially reaching $120,000 to $500,000, almost $600,000 annually until the school becomes profitable. Case closed. Case closed. There you have it right there. Ain't no effing $2 million getting no school started like that. And Umar Johnson probably thought he could. It's not. It's not. It's not. And you need liquid. He needs money to keep the school open. It ain't saying nothing if you open a school and gotta close it after a week. That ain't saying shit. If you got a school and you gotta close that school after a year, that ain't saying nothing. You got to have money in order to take blows. Period. You got to have money. Let me repeat myself again. You have to have money in order to take blows. What am I saying when I say this, ladies and gentlemen? I'm saying that Umar Johnson has to have financial assets, liquid, in order to continue. So if the school, let's say for example, right, he's gonna have to pay for the food, all this other stuff, teacher salary, all these things. How many years in business you guys think in a new business does it take to start making money? That's why you have to have money in order for those first couple of years to get by. This is the thing people don't, bro, this is the problem with black folks. They don't have no brains, bro. A lot of us don't. It's just sad. Because if you had brains and you knew this, you would know you need more than $2 million. You need money that you can run with for a few years until you can start seeing profits in any new business. Because I guarantee you the money he's going to charge them students to go to that school is not going to be able to overcome the money that was debt to put in that school in 1 year. Period. Period. So what are y'all talking about? And Umar Johnson ain't saying this. And to me, that's what he need to be saying. Y'all talking about $2 million. You think $2 million is enough to start a school? You a damn fool. That man needed $10 million to start that school. You always need 4, 5, 6 times the amount of money you think you need when you start a business like that. Why? Because you have to think about the worst. That school, if Umar Johnson was to open up that school would fail after 1 year. With $2 million, he'd fail after 1 year. He would need substantial backing to keep that school going. After 1 year. To the person who said 10 million is crazy. No, it's not. Not when you're having to pay damn near $500,000 and $600,000 a year just to keep the school going. Think about that. And you ain't seeing no profits off that for the first 4 or 5 years. How many people here even have businesses? Have you been dreaming about? If you have a business, hold on. If you have a business, right? Let me say this to everybody in here. If you have a business, right? Your business may not make money in the first 2 or 3 years. You may still be in the red. These are all facts. You may still be in the red after the first 5 or 6 years in your business. To get into the green, and the sad part is people don't understand that. That's the sad part. And everybody talking about somebody a scammer. No, I think Umar Johnson is not as intelligent as he wants y'all to think he is. Financially. Psychologically, maybe. Financially, hell no. Umar probably thought he probably thought that he could pull it off with that amount of money and found out he can't. That's why he ain't open a school. You think he can open a school with $2 million? Hell no, dog. Come on, man. Just be real, bro. That man need at least $10 million to open that school. And you don't go off of, oh, let me get backing after I open it. No, he needed that from the jump. But see, the problem was him not being transparent, him not putting it out there exactly what he needed from the beginning, and him having all these other scandals with him destroyed his credibility. If Umar would have had people who are experienced in these areas, people who have been a part of schools and have been a part of these situations, come in and help him, if he was willing to humble himself, he probably wouldn't be in this situation. But the fact that this dude is a jackass, think he know everything, and want to do it all by himself, that's his problem. That's his problem. So that's where the real issue lies. But nobody's telling the truth. Everybody's saying, oh, man, come on, man. Bro, listen, you need to start a small school, you need around $10 million. Because you ain't just think about 1 year. You have to think about, man, what happens if this goes wrong? You always have to think about what happens if something goes wrong when you're starting a school or a business. Right? Think about what I just said. To the person who says he used the donations for his personal use, that you have to be able to prove that. I don't think Umar Johnson would need that for his personal use. And here's the reason why. And this is the thing people don't talk about. And I'm see on my channel, I'm gonna be honest about this shit, bro. Because people out here lying and capping. Do anybody see Umar running around here in Ferraris? Last time they said something about Umar, they said he was living in a beat down shack with his mama. This nigga ain't living in no multi-million-dollar mansion. If Umar was running around here driving 10 Bentleys, living in multi-million-dollar mansion stuff, that's something different. I see this dude riding an old-ass SUV. Last time I seen his crib, a few years ago, that shit was filthy. And he was supposed to have already raised $1 million. And people were saying he took, so where'd it go? Maybe he still have it in the account. Maybe he just smart enough to know he can't open that school, or else it's all gonna fold in because he don't have the money to do everything else he need to do. Umar Johnson gets his own money based off of interviews. This is the thing people don't understand. All those interviews Umar doing, speaking engagements, that man getting bread for that shit, bro. Y'all don't understand this? Umar Johnson make more money than all y'all in here just off his speaking engagements. More than money than most of y'all make at y'all 9-to-5 jobs. That's the part y'all don't know. Umar Johnson, a year off speaking engagements, Umar Johnson probably clearing around $25,000, $30,000 a month in interviews, podcast interviews, and speaking engagements. Think about that. That's personal money. Personal money. Every time you turn around, you see Umar doing interviews and speaking engagements. He getting paid for all that. People not telling y'all these truths. I'm kicking to y'all. That's outside of the donations he getting for the school. Think about what I just said. Think about what I just said. Right? So people who think that Umar's just this broke dude that's stealing all the donations, Man, the feds would have been jammed that dude up, man. I think that Umar Johnson is not stupid enough to open that school right now. I think his ass no. If he opened that school gonna be closed within 6-7 months. And it's gonna fail. Why? He don't have enough money. He need at least $10 million to run that school. Straight up. If somebody says that Umar got $2 million, he need 10. Anybody who's a business owner know I'm not lying. Because you always have to prepare and look at the worst situations as if, what am I going to do if I don't have income for the next 2 or 3 years? I need money. I need money. Think about what I just said to y'all. See, the purchase of the school is one thing, the $400,000. Then the repairs is another thing. Then the maintenance continuously is another thing. Then the staff is another thing. The food is another thing. The bills you're going to pay for utilities is another thing. The insurance is another thing. The fees you have to pay associated with the school is another thing. I think this fool got into the business thinking he could just get in there, get to school, and then he was going to be able to get it open and just get it rolling. I think he didn't do no planning. I think once he got in, he seen all this shit, he's like, oh, shit. But he don't want to tell everybody that he's a damn fool and didn't have the right people around him because he wanted to do it all by himself. I think Umar Johnson's guilty of being a narcissist and a jackass and thinking he know it all. And I think Umar Johnson is not humble enough to come out here and tell everybody that he got in way over his head and he don't know as much as he think he knew about the financial side. Because the feds, in my opinion, have been knocked this nigga down the last 4 or 5 years. Because if you think about it, once again, Umar's not out here bling-blinging it, wearing $100 million chains and all this other shit, driving Ferraris and all this other shit, living in mansions and all this other shit. He's not doing it. He got money. Look how much money he's made. Everybody call him a scammer. He's making legitimate money doing interviews every single month. I'm telling y'all this. I guarantee y'all Umar Johnson's clearing $30,000 a month just off interviews and speaking engagements. I guarantee you. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. $30,000 a month. You ask yourself, how many is speaking engagement? To the person who said, no, he ain't making that much. Yes, he is. Umar Johnson making probably about $4,000 or $5,000 interviews on YouTube. Let's start right there. Interviews on YouTube alone, he making about $4,000 or $5,000. So you see Umar probably about 3 or 4 interviews every single month. Then the speaking engagements. How much you think he making on the speaking engagements? He go do the speaking engagements. They flying him out there, man, and making probably between $3,000 and $5,000 for the speaking engagements. Cut it out. Cut it out. And he a hot topic, so he gonna be on everybody's show anyways. He doing numbers. Let me ask y'all a question. How much money y'all think Charleston White out here making off interviews? Bro, Charleston White probably out here clearing. Charleston White got to be clearing about $50,000 a month off interviews. Charleston White don't became a millionaire just off doing YouTube, off doing interviews, podcasts. You guys don't understand this. So when y'all say that stuff, man, bro, them dudes out here getting banked, bro. Just because you don't know it, you late to the party. But y'all need to get up on y'all's game and understand this stuff. So yeah, it's funny how everybody can say something about a person and they ain't seen his account. You can say a lot of things about Umar. He's not transparent. You know what I'm saying? He's a jerk. He's a jackass. He's all of these things. But until you see how much money he got in that account versus how much money, you know what I'm saying, he spent, period, in the school, we haven't seen it. So everybody can say, hey, man, he's a scammer. He's a scammer. Well, we haven't seen his account to say that. That's why I said I can't give an opinion on that. We have not seen Umar Johnson's account. The crazy thing is what if he does have, and see, this is the part y'all not understanding. What if Umar does have 700,000, 600,000 in that account? Guess what? That's not enough to open a school. That's not enough money to open a school. To the person who says he does not get paid for speaking engagements, you're a liar. Every engagement Umar do, he getting paid, nigga. What the hell are you talking about? I know for a fact people interviewing Umar Johnson paying that nigga that bread. Umar is not getting up, flying out from here to there, doing free speaking engagements. Stop lying. Stop lying. Y'all would just come out here and say anything. Somebody said, oh, the feds is coming. They've been saying that for 6 years now. I ain't talking about Tasha K. I said other shows Umar Johnson's going on, he's getting paid for his appearance. The shows Umar Johnson going on, he getting paid. The only show I can tell you that I know that Umar Johnson probably did not get paid for going on, and that's because it benefited him more than anything, is the Breakfast Club. A radio station. The radio stations, they're not paying you for the interview. Other than that, all them other podcast interviews he going on, speaking engagements, bro, he getting paid, bro. He getting paid. He getting paid. Straight up. And the way it works is based off the interviews that you're doing, the numbers you're doing is how much you getting paid. Umar Johnson's he's in the algorithm. See, this is the reason y'all gotta understand guys like Charleston White out here getting paid. Charleston White in the algorithm, dog. That means Charleston White can do an interview, get damn near 200,000-300,000 views. He getting paid. Charleston White probably getting close to around $10,000 per interview. You see that nigga all the time. Some people he might do it for 5 or 4 or 6. It all has to do with your viewership. Think about what I just said. Dude's getting bank off them interviews, man. Y'all just don't know this. Y'all just don't know this. Until he was good. Salute to you. Something wrong with these people. So, yes. And Umar was still doing interviews up until, and speaking engagements up until the other day. So he's still getting that money right there. How many people in here can go do an interview for 2 hours and get $5,000, $6,000? Not too many. That's listening. Because of the viewership that he brings. Viewership brings money, revenue. So let me give you an example. If somebody interviews Umar Johnson, from that interview, the videos they do from that interview, let's say from that interview, they garner $30,000. Umar gonna get 10 of that. Straight up. Straight up. That, not even that. Hold on. Let me go to this. Let's say they get 15,000. Umar getting 10 of that. Umar getting 10 of that. Think about what I just said. That's why everybody was tripping when Shannon Sharpe told y'all how much money he made on the Cat Williams interview. You do the math. Let's add this up right now. Let's just go straight off just ad revenue, right? Ad revenue. Let's go right off ad revenue. Now let me do my math real quick. Right? So that interview probably got like 90 million views, right? Per million, let's say you're getting 10,000, right? Per million. Take 10,000, multiply by 90 million, right? Hold on. How the hell this gonna mess up my calculator? What? This shit say 9E11. Hold on. Let me do it like this. Let me do it like this. This shit don't mess up my goddamn calculator. Right? So 90 million, 10,000, that's, God, dog. Dog. Man. Nigga, that's guap, nigga. Damn. Let me add this up again. Hold on. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Damn. That's some guap, my nigga. Y'all know how much bread Shannon Sharpe made off that interview? Damn. Damn. Think about that. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Damn. I'll be damned, dog. Wow. That's some cheese, my nigga. Let me do this right like this. 10,000. Times 10. Shannon Sharpe just alone, ladies and gentlemen. That's $900,000. Sir, you saying a person got a receipt, but the question is he bigger than the feds though? He ain't bigger than the feds. Why haven't the feds went and arrested this man? The feds have seen all these videos. This is the part y'all gotta understand. I'm telling y'all this. I think that from everything I've seen, bro, I'm trying to tell y'all this. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I think Umar still got a lot of that money, bro. I really think Umar still got a lot of that money. I think Umar found out that he ain't as smart as he think he is. And that he know he don't have enough money. Even if Umar had $1 million in his pocket right now. I want everybody to understand this and listen to what I'm saying. If Umar has $1 million in his pocket right now, that's not enough money to open that school. That school will be closed in 1 year. 1 year. If Umar Johnson got $1 million in his pocket right now. Do y'all not understand that? I think Umar found that out the hard way. Let me repeat to y'all one more time. I think Umar Johnson, let me repeat it one more time to everybody that's listening. Even with $1 million, that's not enough to open up that school right now. Person says feds don't care. Yes, they do care. Because you're talking about taxes, sir. You're talking about taxes, sir. And people have accused Umar Johnson of lying on his taxes, too. Taxes ain't about the black community, sir. Taxes, now you messing with Uncle Sam, buddy. And they don't give a damn who you are, buddy. They coming for your ass, bro. So you're wrong about that. It's easy to run with that narrative, you guys. It's easy. On social media, people can tell y'all stuff, and it's easy for you to run with a narrative. It's hard for people to be critical thinkers. It really is. It's hard. I think Umar Johnson found out the hard way. Even if that nigga got $1 million, he don't have enough money to open that school. He know it. The school gonna fold within less than a year. Listen, if Umar Johnson got $1 million, that school gonna fold within 1 year. He needs around $10 million to successfully be able to open that school. Now, you don't have to believe me. Go ask somebody else who got a school independently without government assistance. Go ask them. Go ask them. And you'll find your answer. Nobody's done that yet. Isn't that strange? That you haven't heard any of these content creators go ask anybody who's got a school independently how much money it took them to run their school the first 3 or 4 years? Think about what I'm saying to y'all. Use your brains. If Umar Johnson got $1 million in cash right now, is not enough to open that school. It's going to get shut down after 1 year because he ain't going to have the capital. And he ain't going to earn enough money from the school in order to stay above water. So the person said he's raised well above $1 million. He's raised probably about $1.5 million. Not enough. Even if he raised $3 million, nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough. And how does everybody know how much he raised if y'all ain't seen his account? Here's the thing. You haven't seen his accounts. So realistically, everybody's guessing. Nobody's come with substantiated factual evidence. This is guessing on YouTube and online. Think about what I just said. So the person who said the operating budget is $1 million, no, it's not. It's more than that. It's more than that. Hold on. Let me write this question. Right? Ladies and gentlemen. Right? I want to show y'all something on this page. See, this is why I try to tell y'all. What I'm about to do is I'm about to eat through all these niggas on social media. I'm about to eat through all these niggas. I'm going to show y'all something. When I show y'all this, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. Let me show y'all this. I'm going to blow y'all mind right now. See, this is what happens when you get out of just jockstrap sniffing, fanboyism, and riding a wave just because you want to ride a wave, right? This is what happens when you get to this, right? Now, I'm finna show y'all something. See that school right there? That's the school right there. It's a picture of the school right there, right? I want to show y'all something right here, right? I want to show y'all something. Read that. Read that, ladies and gentlemen. It's difficult to give a precise figure without knowing specifics of the school.
But a small private school, right, in a major city could cost anywhere from $17,000 to $81,000 per child per year to run. That's a real picture of the school too. Now let's keep going. According to a study from Ask Wonder, this means a small school with, say, 50 students, 50, only 50 students, y'all, could cost between $850,000 and $4 million per year to operate. Didn't I tell you idiots that don't want to listen? That man don't got nowhere near the money he need to start a school. A small school, private school. See, it's one thing when it's closed. When it's open, boy, them prices go through the roof. Read it yourself. Read it yourself. Over 3 years, it would be $2.5 million to $12 million, not including the startup's cost. Startup costs like building, purchase, or renovation, permits, license, and initial curriculum development could add significantly to that total. So the person who says people have opened and still run a school for less, how many students are you talking about? 10? 15? It depends on how many students you're talking about, man. Umar Johnson has a school that could probably fit around 50 to 75 students. Teachers, staff, electricity, water. Think about what I just said. Y'all got to understand this. Crazy work. A specialized curriculum or unique programs may increase these expenses. Teachers and staff salaries are a major expense. Requiring careful planning. Listen to what I just said to y'all. I think Umar Johnson is a jackass. And I think that Umar Johnson thought he was smarter than everybody else in the room. It's almost like he got an idea, drew that shit on paper, and thought that it was going to all be figured out. I'm telling y'all this right now. Listen to what I just said to y'all. I think that this idiot thought that he was this is what I personally think. I think Umar just had this idea in his mind. Yeah, I want to do a school. Yeah, man. He probably went and looked at certain costs, thought that, yeah, if I go get this school for $400,000 and I get like $2 or $3 million, I can pull it off. No, you can't. Then once you get in it and you start seeing, damn, I need all this money too. Then everybody start calling you a scammer when the school never opened. You still asking for donations. You paying bills every year on the school that ain't even open yet. And them bills ain't nowhere near what you're going to pay when you open the school. Think about that. Think about that. This is all Umar Johnson's fault. Think about that. You damn right, Donovan Williams. These mofos think Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo is going to open a school. Fuck out of here, man. That man need about $10 million to get it started. Then he's going to need constant funding to keep it going. Volunteers ain't volunteering all their time to go teach. Sorry, not going to work. I'm sorry. This man keeps talking about volunteers. Volunteers may help you with some of the expenses as far as creating a school. You're not having teachers coming there volunteering, teaching these courses and giving up all that time in their life for free. Not happening. He got to pay them. That ain't happening. He might get people who volunteer to help him with the building expenses or labor on the building, and he's too ignorant to want to take that. But that other hardcore labor, nah, no sir. You think a teacher's going in there and teaching for free for him? Man, you won't cap, nigga. You won't cap. Now, how much money you paying the teachers? Think about all this stuff now. No, to the person who said the school was never meant to be open as a lavish scam, I don't believe that. I believe Umar really did want to do it. I believe Umar's just not smart, as he think he is, as far as businesses goes. I think he's smart in other areas, but business-wise, no. I'd never let that nigga manage my money. No, you're not hearing what I'm saying to you, my man. You're not hearing what I'm saying to you. To the brother who says volunteer program, you're not listening to what I'm saying. Teachers are not going out. Umar Johnson is not going to get 10 to 15 teachers to go teach for free in Delaware. It's not happening. Bro, you got to use your brain. That's not happening, bro. In 2025, with the way the economy is, you think that he's going to get 15 teachers to teach for free every year? You a damn fool. Damn fool. Teacher gonna give up their whole day, 5 days a week in Delaware to teach for free in this economy. Nigga, that'll be the quickest way to get a divorce. You said, do I think he's using the donations for his personal expense? He don't need to, in my opinion. The nigga gets so much money off interviews. That's the thing people don't understand. Umar Johnson be getting money off these public appearances and interviews, bro. That's the part people don't understand. This nigga really be getting cake like that off them personal interviews. He really do. That nigga probably clear around $25,000, $30,000 a month off just podcast interviews and public appearances. I'm telling y'all this. I'm talking about personal money. People don't understand that on social media. Listen, you can hate Umar. You can hate the things he say and all that other stuff. Look, I get it. I don't think he's a good dude. I don't like his personality. Right? Straight up. I tell you straight up. Right? You said, why do I think he avoided? Maybe a tactic for him to get more donations. Because he's ashamed to come out and say that money he's got ain't going to be enough to start that school. But anybody who's smart enough to do their own goddamn research, they would have already known that money wasn't going to be enough to start that school. Anybody with half a brain would have known that. That's not even hard to figure out. Anywhere from $1 to $3 million is not enough for him to start that school. Umar Johnson needed around $10 million to start that school. I'm telling y'all, I think Umar Johnson went online, looked at prices in abandoned buildings for schools, thought that, okay, I can get that at that price range, and didn't take into context any of the other things that he was going to need. I really believe that, yo. I really believe that. Then he went and got to school, y'all. And this nigga started getting hit upside the head with all kind of extra costs. They started telling this nigga about new shit, y'all. He like, what? Yeah, dog, you gotta have this insurance. Huh? No, you gotta have that type of insurance. What? Nah, you gotta pay this tax. What? You gotta pay that tax. Huh? You gotta get this. You gotta do this. Huh? Man, that nigga was probably going crazy hearing all them expenses, man. I'm telling y'all this, bro. I'm telling y'all, man. That nigga was ashamed, man. Some people proud. And he trying to tell you. Then they come on YouTube like, hey, y'all. My math was wrong. my math was wrong, man. Yeah. I'm about $7 million off. People will say, what? Man, we ready to break that nigga neck, man. Man, bro, I'm telling y'all this, man. That nigga got hit with reality, nigga. I'm telling y'all. Dang, once you start doing some shit, bro, that nigga got hit with reality, nigga. That's like building a new house and thinking that, yeah, I got like $300,000. This gonna be enough. Man, you start getting them bills and shit like that when you start getting into building that house. And shit start adding up, not like you thought it was gonna add up, and all them other expenses come in, man, before you know it, your ass is in major trouble. Man, I told you, Umar got too much pride though, man. I'm trying to tell y'all this shit. You look at that nigga, man. That nigga Umar got too much pride to admit when he wrong, man. Oh, man, bro. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Like, share, subscribe, man. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Much love to all of y'all, man. Y'all already know what's up, man. I'm gone, man. Hey, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, supporting the network. Like, share, and subscribe once again. There are links. Get the free membership on our website. That way you guys won't miss any of our news update stories or videos. They're all on the website, ticketvmedia.com. You go over there, you can go right to the members part and become a free member. That way you guys will get all the updates. Also, straight drop weight loss formula. Make sure y'all go tap in and copy some of that, as well as subscribing to our podcast show. Link will be pinned at the top of the chat down there below. And also, we just appreciate all y'all who support the channel. Cash App, PayPal.